Hello, I'm Ryan Lott, the CEO from Neocol. I'm going to talk to you today about Checkout Anywhere for Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management from Neocol. This is an asset that we have that sits on top of Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management. First of all, we'll talk a little bit about what Revenue Lifecycle Management is. So at Neocol, we see it as both a product and a platform. You have your traditional product to cash use cases that can run on the product of Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management. And then we have this underlying platform, which is components that can be leveraged through various different use cases. So for example, a product catalog that can be called, leveraged through an API, Salesforce pricing, you're going to see those in action today, along with a couple of these other components here down the bottom. So let's talk about what is Checkout Anywhere from Neocol. So as I mentioned, it's an asset. Neocol bring these along to implementations with customers, where it probably brings about 80% of the functionality that's needed. We'll then spend time to configure, develop the asset a little bit further to meet those 100% of those needs. It runs on top of Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management, and it provides a self-service experience for end users. This can be embedded in a SaaS product, a website, a portal, whether it's a partner portal, customer portal. It can be running on Salesforce, off Salesforce. It really doesn't matter. That's why we call it Checkout Anywhere, because it really can run anywhere. It allows end users to come to a site where they can see a plan or a selection of plans, maybe your products that they want to purchase, and then go through and configure that, have updated pricing, and then go and agree to actually purchasing that, where they can put in their credit card details and set up for a plan that they then get billed through their credit card. From an administrative perspective, this is all running on top of Salesforce. So our admins in Salesforce can go in, they can set up the products that they want to be exposed to the end users, they can set the pricing, the rules, everything. And then when a customer actually comes and purchases, those subscriptions that they subscribe to are now available in Salesforce. So today we're showing self-service. The end result is that we have the subscriptions that those customers purchased are now available in Salesforce. But the great beauty around this is if they're also buying through other channels, either direct sales, partner channels, you have one place with Salesforce where you can see all of those assets. So let's talk a little bit further about this. In terms of the product, the website, the portals, etc., can run anywhere, as I mentioned. In terms of Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management, what you're going to see in the demonstration here is we are going to be calling the product catalog. So on the website, you'll see shortly, the first page has 4 products. We've called the product catalog and said, hey, what do we want to show to end users as potential products that they can purchase here? We then use Salesforce pricing to help with calculating the pricing, and that will change as they select the number of users or add or remove components. We'll be calling the pricing API to get them accurate pricing as well, and leveraging our rules that we've set up in Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management. Once they then go ahead and say, right, I'm ready, they put in their credit card details, etc., we're then going to go and create an order in Salesforce, and we're going to create assets as well so we can see what they've purchased in Salesforce. Interesting thing that you're going to see in this demonstration as well is we have actually integrated at Neocol Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management into Salesforce Billing. So you'll see towards the end of the demonstration that we're using Salesforce Billing to generate an invoice and to then bill the customer with the credit card file that we saved during this process, all running through Salesforce Billing. All right, enough of me talking. Let's go and head over into the demonstration. Okay, so we're in the product here. So actually Neocol have created a SaaS product here, recommend.com. Users can go ahead and sign in once they've got an account set up. But the first thing that we need a user to do here before they can start using the services of this product is go ahead and sign up for a plan. So we're going to click here to join us today. Now this page here is calling out using, this is the Neocol Checkout Anywhere asset, and it's calling the Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management APIs. So at this screen, we're calling the APIs and we're saying list all the plans that an administrator has set up internally within Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management and said, I want these to be available via self-service. As part of that setup, they've also gone and set up a pricing as well for each plan. We actually have a monthly and an annual price that's been set up in Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management. So I'm going to go ahead here and choose the starter plan. Okay, the first thing here is going to ask me for some information. So let me put in a Checkout Anywhere demonstration as the company name. And down here, now this is where I'm configuring the plan. So I can either do a monthly or an annual pricing. This pricing is coming straight from Revenue Lifecycle Management. We're calling the pricing API to return it here to the users. So if I go ahead and say annual, I can change this to a quantity of 5. So again, calculations are all being done here using the Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management pricing API. So I'm happy with this. I want to move ahead and use the starter plan with a quantity of 5 users on an annual basis, and it's going to cost me $576. Let's go ahead and continue to the checkout. So again, we're leveraging here the Neocol asset, the checkout anywhere asset was still in there, but now we're putting up a payment page, a hosted payment page, and here we can reach out to any payment gateway that we would like to use to actually go ahead and store the credit card details. So let's fill this out. Put in my name here, put in my credit card details. Okay, get that done. Expiration date. Okay, so before I click Pay Now, what we're doing here is we're going to take this information, store it in a payment gateway. So credit cards are stored there. That's off the Salesforce platform in a secure payment gateway, any of the common gateways out there. And we're going to receive back a token. We're going to store that token in Salesforce so we can actually then go ahead and bill this customer for any invoices that we generate in the system. So I'll go ahead here and pay now. Okay, so our order has been created successfully in the back end in Salesforce. So what does that really mean? So let's at this stage go ahead and switch gears, and we're going to go into Salesforce and see what has been created now the user has completed their process here of signing up to the recommend product. So we have Salesforce tab over here. Go ahead and open this. Let's just refresh this. Okay, we can see we have our new account that's been added today in here, the Neocol Checkout Anywhere demonstration account. So I'll go ahead and click on that. Okay, so let's talk about what happened here in the background when we went ahead and completed our checkout process as a user. We called a few APIs in Revenue Lifecycle Management. First thing we did though is we stored the credit card as a payment method. You can see here this payment method. We stored that information with the payment gateway, got a token back, and if I look at this, we now have this information here. We have the token from the payment gateway, so we can go ahead and any charges that come up, we can go and bill that customer for that on a recurring basis. In this demonstration, we've actually integrated, as I mentioned earlier, Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management into Salesforce Billing. So Salesforce Billing, one of the features is the ability to store a payment method here. So that's what we've gone ahead and done. The other thing that we did is we called 2 APIs here in Revenue Lifecycle Management. One to place the order and one to generate the asset. So let's start with the asset and see what we've got in the system now. So we have an asset that's been created for the starter plan. That's what the user selected. You can see here it was the initial sale. We had a quantity of 5 users that I selected, which equates to a charge of $48. And I signed up for an annual plan here, so it's total lifecycle management. You can see you can see here at the top is $576. Now, if the user was to log back in, start making changes, changing the quantity from 5 and change it to 7, etc., you would see these actions appearing here. So we can track the whole history of what a end user has done here as they've been adding in additional users, in this case, to their product. So great that we have that. Let's take a step back as well on the account and see what else we have. So we also called the order APIs in Revenue Lifecycle Management to generate an order. You can see here this order came in through the self-service channel. The great thing about Revenue Lifecycle Management is you can have self-service orders, you can have partner, community orders coming in through partner portals, you can have direct sellers selling as well, and we can differentiate between that and show where that order came from. But at the same time, the beauty is you can actually see all of these in one system in Salesforce. Doesn't matter the channel it came from, we can see what every end user owns and how they went about transacting with us. So as I mentioned, we've integrated with Salesforce Billing in this environment. So let me take a step back now and I'll just do a quick refresh here on the screen. So in the background, Salesforce Billing has been running and it's looked at our order that we had and said, I need to go ahead and generate an invoice here. So this invoice is for the $576 as we'd expect. So that's been created. And now if I click on the payments tab as well, you can see we've actually created a, here using the credit card, we've gone ahead and created a payment for $576. So that credit card that we stored on file, Salesforce Billing has leveraged that, has looked at the invoices that was outstanding and created a payment on the end user's credit card there, that we've now got that on a recurring basis set up. So take one step back, you can see here everything that was created in Revenue Lifecycle Management. Assets, we have the order, we have the invoice, and we have the payment against that. From a demonstration perspective, that's everything I wanted to show. As mentioning, two things really here that you're seeing from a demonstration is you're seeing the Checkout Anywhere asset from Neocol that probably helps customers get 80-90% of the way there. That's what we're finding in these engagements. And then we've also integrated into Salesforce Billing to go ahead and take that order that Revenue Lifecycle Management created and go and invoice our customers. That's it. Please let me know, reach out if you have any more questions or would like to learn more. And thank you for watching. Cheers.